A very good evening. Jamaican police have confirmed they are treating Bob Woolmer's death as a murder. They believe someone strangled the Pakistan cricket coach. Woolmer was found unconscious in his Kingston hotel room earlier this week and died in hospital.
Outside Bob Woolmer's home in Cape Town, a family friend accepts flowers at the door. At the Woolmer home, behind drawn curtains, family and friends gathered to grieve and confer over the latest developments in Bob Woolmer's death. After days of speculation, Jamaican police confirmed foul play was involved.
The pathologist report states that Mr. Woolmer's death was due to asphyxia as a result of manual strangulation. In these circumstances, the matter of Mr. Woolmer's death is now being treated by the Jamaica police as a case of murder.
Police are not ruling out the possibility that there may have been more than one assailant.
It would have taken some significant force in which to subdue him and cause strangulation. But of course, we do not know at this stage how many people were in the room.
Woolmer was found unconscious in his Kingston hotel room just one day after his team's humiliating defeat at the World Cup. The news has stunned the World Cup faithful.
I'm shocked, totally shocked. I think we all are, to think that somebody could be murdered through cricket.
Woolmer's family issued a statement a short while ago pleading for privacy.
Jill Woolmer and her sons Dale and Russell are distraught at the circumstances around Bob's death and overwhelmed at his loss.
And while Woolmer's South African loved ones hole up behind closed doors, in Pakistan fans have gathered to pay their last respects and say goodbye to a legend in the cricket world. Rose Ramsey, E-News, Cape Town.
Now, the motive for Bob Woolmer's murder remains unclear tonight, but one line of investigation is that Woolmer may have been about to expose match fixing within the team. As we report now, corruption in the game of cricket did not go away after the Hansie Cronje scandal.
Talk about match fixing in cricket and one name always crops up. The late Proteas captain Hansie Cronje, who was banned for life for accepting money from bookmakers. His teammate Herschel Gibbs received a 6-month ban.
Mr. Commissioner,
but if you thought match fixing ended with that scandal, you're wrong. Just months later, Indian captain Mohammad Azharuddin and teammate Ajay Sharma were banned for life for throwing games, and 2 other Indian players were banned for 5 years. Also under suspicion have been Pakistan captain Inzamam ul Haq and Australian legends Shane Warne and Mark Waugh, but with no conclusive evidence, all were cleared. And then there's Kenyan captain Maurice Odumbe, banned for 5 years for accepting nearly $20,000 from a bookmaker to fix at least one game.
The recent history of match fixing would seem to suggest that the International Cricket Council has largely failed to clamp down on corruption in the game. And at the heart of the problem are corrupt bookmakers, willing to throw large amounts of money at players to influence the outcome of the game.
And it's match fixing at the centre of the Bob Woolmer investigation. Investigators will be looking closely at this game against Ireland.
He's packing his bag, Bob Woolmer.
They'll ask the question, was Woolmer angry because of the team's loss, or because he suspected some of his players were throwing the game for money? Patrick Conroy, E-News, Johannesburg.
Well, those who worked closely with Bob Woolmer have reacted with shock to the news that he was murdered. They've urged the International Cricket Council to clamp down on corruption in the game.
Bob Woolmer was a prominent figure in Western Province cricket, and the news that he was murdered has shocked his former colleagues. They are now calling on the ICC to stamp out match fixing and corruption in cricket once and for all.
It's a shocking thing and a massively serious thing for world cricket as a whole. I think the game, it shows also the very high stakes, the huge pressures at the top levels.
Former Protea batsman Peter Kirsten used to be one of Woolmer's teammates and also received his coaching license through Woolmer's academy. He's described the announcement that Woolmer was murdered as terrible news.
But I think, if you take on the role of coaching Pakistan and certainly India, those are 2 very volatile positions, and of course well, losing to Ireland, it's just not the done thing. So who knows what's been going on.
Wrist spinner Paul Adams played for the Proteas under Woolmer. Adams says the ICC should step up security around players and officials.
As a player, you don't want to be caught up in that situations and things like that. And these guys are around and they put pressure on players. And I just hope that for the sake of the sport, of all sport in the world, that gets stamped out.
Former Proteas fast bowler Alan Donald has called on the ICC to scrap the Cricket World Cup. But international cricket boss Malcolm Speed says the tournament will go ahead, despite the dark cloud hanging over it. Edwin Khaswe, E! News, Johannesburg.
In